This is way worse than we thought as we get breaking news via Shams ESPN NBA Insider that Max Strus will likely miss 3 to 4 months and not see him back in play till around November. And on top of that, we got a report earlier this offseason that Darius Garland was going to be out for around a similar amount of time. Darius Garland will probably be out for less than that. But this came out of nowhere, as we knew Strus might have, if you kind of pay attention to the offseason, there might be some small things that linger here and there. But Max Strus goes ahead and undergoes a surgery, and now he will not be playing NBA basketball until likely November, maybe even December, as he will be out 3 to 4 months as of today. Matt Palange with Cavs Digest here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I was actually pre-recording a video for tomorrow because I have school, and Darius put out a banger today, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. But then, boom, we get a report like this. And you know us here at Cavs Digest, we try to push out all these updates as quick as we can for your guys' entertainment, so you guys can stay updated with all things, everything's Cavaliers. So that's why you should go ahead and subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends. But now let's break down what happened with Mr. Max Strus. As I said, something was lingering, and he ended up undergoing a surgery. And Shams came out and said that Max Strus will miss several months of basketball. Cleveland Cavaliers guard Max Strus. I love how it says guard, but he's our starting small forward, but we'll talk about that. Cleveland Cavaliers guard Max Strus will likely miss the start of the 2025-26 season after undergoing surgery to repair a Jones fracture in his left foot sustained during an off-season workout. ESPN's Shams Charania reported on Tuesday. Charania noted that Strus will be sidelined approximately 3 to 4 months, which would put him on track to return sometime in November or December. I got this from the Yahoo.com website, but Shams was the one that he's quoting, obviously. And that says everything. Of course, as I said, I called out the fact that, they're calling him a guard when he is our starting small forward. We're going to talk about what kind of implications this has for the entire season, but we're also going to talk about Max Strus in a positive way because I understand that some of you guys are like, bench Max Strus, DeAndre Hunter's better, but Max Strus is a pivotal piece to this lineup, specifically the starting lineup, based on his defense and based on his shooting style. We're talking about a pure catch and shoot, a guy who always seems to have the green light for himself, but it's not just that. It's actually that he plays very, very hard. He played poor against the Heat. He actually had some very, very good games against Indiana that kind of impressed me, other than the Game 5 loss where he played bad. But for the most part, Max Strus' play style is really hard to replace. His willingness to always shoot when he has any sort of space, his willingness to play defense and hustle his butt off. I mean, he's one of the best hustlers I've seen. He's probably the best hustler on the Cavs, other than maybe Sam Merrill. And his play style just fits perfectly for Cleveland and almost any NBA team. So although I know you guys want Max Strus to be coming off the bench this year, and as I said, whatever, DeAndre Hunter probably is the better player, Strus does have an irreplaceable play style, at least for the Cavs. And his statistics this year look kind of lackluster. And that's what's crazy to me. He only averaged 9 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. But 4 and 3 for a small forward to actually really got on the rebound and assist category. And Max Strus is like the 4th scoring option in the starting rotation alone. Probably the 5th or 6th scoring option on the team. Actually, you know what? He's the 5th scoring option in the starting lineup because I think they trust pick and rolls with Jarrett Allen and pick and rolls with Evan Mobley, or anything with Evan Mobley more. So that's 3 and 4 right there. And then he would be your 4th or 5th scoring option for the Cavaliers. On top of that, DeAndre Hunter, who comes off the bench, is most likely a better scoring option than Max Strus to begin with. So Max Strus isn't supposed to average more than 9.4 points per game. But as I said, it's his play style that is more irreplaceable and his heart and hustle that he brings to the Cavaliers, which is why this injury report is very, very bad for the Cavs. Although the one biggest thing that we know, and a biggest positive takeaway from an injury, well, there's nothing positive to the injury, but the biggest takeaway is, let's be real. The Cavaliers are going to have a great regular season anyways, and Max Strus should be able to come back for the playoffs with them probably having 50-plus wins anyways. But the biggest issue is if injuries and surgeries, you always don't come off of them well. And Max Strus is a pivotal player. Whether you guys trust Sam Merrill and other guys I'm going to mention to come off the bench and fill in a good role for Max Strus, it's still sad to see the injury. And also a guy who versus the Pacers series, I was seeing realistic arguments that until Game 5, Max Strus was the one player who showed up to play. He was being pretty efficient. He was hustling his butt off, and he looked like he was playing basketball the right way for the Cavs. Sorry, I'm talking really quick here. But now we're going to continue talking about what happens with them. So, with the Cavaliers, we see a guy, Jalen Tyson. This is big for Jalen Tyson. I talked about Jalen Tyson, how Kenny Atkinson said that they need him. And now, let's talk about how they need him. The Cleveland Cavaliers have looked elsewhere at their small forward position in the past. They didn't want to play Amani Bates. They didn't want to bring Travers up at all, even though he was playing phenomenal in the G League and he was putting on a show in the G League. And it looked like Jalen Tyson was kind of just there just to be there in the regular season. Wasn't really getting as much playing time as we thought that he could be, especially for a guy that they drafted in the top 20 or the top 25. Now, to add to that, Jalen Tyson, they definitely need, and they're definitely looking at to be a pivotal piece to replace Max Strus. But it's not just going to be him, because with Max Strus being out, that means Dean Wade has to get more playing time, and that means that DeAndre Hunter is going to come into the starting lineup. The starting lineup at the start of the year is going to likely be Lonzo Ball, Donovan Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. That is crazy to me to think about, because Lonzo Ball is technically on restricted minutes due to his injury history, and there's a chance that they throw Sam Merrill in there and just have Donovan Mitchell run the one, or they do some sort of funky lineup with a different guard to put in instead of Darius Garland, the point guard position, because I think that they really do want to try to rest Lonzo. Not full games, but they want Lonzo to stay healthy. On top of that, DeAndre Hunter, welcome to the starting lineup for the Cavaliers. We really get to see what the bench looks like without him. Because, as I said, you're going to need some bench depth, and I totally believe that the bench is lacking some scoring depth. And I really want to see what happens with DeAndre Hunter. Does he play as an elite starting point guard? If the Cavaliers can go out and win a superb amount of games without Max Strus, then I think you should just keep DeAndre Hunter in the starting lineup anyways. And to finish off this video, we have to talk about Darius Garland because, as I said, not only is Max Strus out, it's looking like Darius Garland will be out for the first maybe 10 games or so, maybe less than that. So we're going to be missing, as Cavs fans, 2 of the Cavaliers' 5 starters. But there's also some storyline based, because a lot of you guys and a lot of other fans and analysts have talked about getting rid of Darius Garland and getting rid of Max Strus and different opinions on all these guys. We're really going to get to see what the team looks like without them and how important they are to the Cavaliers and to Kenny Atkinson and to the team around them, because I know that there's some controversy surrounding them. But that is it for me here on Cavs Digest. As we got a breaking news report about Max Strus' injury, I wanted to come in here and give you guys that update. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, let's hope that Max Strus recovers well. Thank you for joining me on Cavs Digest. I'm Matt Palange. Have a good one.